Hi, fifth graders. Welcome back to Persuasive Session 9. This is going to be about our outline and our topic sentences today. So we're going to be taking a look at the skeleton of our paper and how we can create some topic sentences that will engage our reader. So today's teaching point is that creating a visual outline of our essay helps us to organize our thoughts. So seeing what structure we're going to be using is going to help you organize how you're going to be writing this paper. Also, strong leads engage your audience and clue the reader into what your paragraph is about. So the goal with the topic sentence or lead is to, of course, engage your reader, hook their attention, and also give them some information about what they're going to be reading. So let's take a look at what questions we're going to be asking ourselves when it comes to the outline. So today we're going to be asking ourselves, how are we going to organize our reasons? We've taken a look at how you're going to organize your evidence within your reasons already. Remember, we talked about strategizing. It's almost like a video game. Well, today you're going to be strategizing how you're going to organize your reasons within your paper. So when we are watching a movie or reading a book or hearing a story, what stands out to us the most when, as time passes, what do you remember the most? Is it the beginning of the story or is it the end? I don't know about you, but the ending typically stands out to me the most because it's the most recent thing that I've read, seen, heard, and so on. So when you think about what you want your reader to remember the most, it's going to be whatever's at the end of that paper. So you need to identify what is your strongest, most important reason in your paper, and that is what you're going to be putting at the end. Okay, so we want our reasons to go from least important to most important because they're more likely to remember the end of your paper than they are the beginning. Then you're also going to be asking yourself, what topic sentences will I use? How will we engage the reader and clue them in as to what we're going to be writing about? And we will get to some examples in just a moment. So let's talk about hooks or topic sentences. So in your introduction paragraph, you are going to come up with a hook, and you've done this many times throughout your writing with all of your different papers. In your informational writing, you may have started with a question. This is very similar. You have to think about how are you going to approach this. Are you going to start with a question? Are you going to start out with a funny story that's a personal connection? Are you going to start out with an action, something's happening, and give a little bit of storytelling in there as well? So think about how you want to engage your reader and what you want to start off with in your very first sentence, okay? Then you're going to be talking about or thinking about your body paragraph topic sentences today. These are a little bit more straightforward because they are focused on your reasons. So each of your reasons is going to be the topic sentence of your body paragraphs. So for example, you may start off your first body paragraph with one reason that da-da-da-da-da, one reason that zoos should exist, one reason that kids should play sports, one reason that kids should have pets, so on. Then for your second reason, you may come up with the sentence starter, another reason that, or lastly, you could also do first, second, third, one reason, another reason, finally. Any of those combinations that you can think of, you know what makes sense. Obviously, you're not going to write finally for your first reason or my first reason for your second reason. That wouldn't make sense. Obviously, you want to think about what reason you're on and what transition would make the most sense. So let's take a look at your task for today. So what you're going to need to do is you are going to need to open up your boxes and bullets and have that handy. Then you're also going to need to open up your persuasive essay outline that is attached to this assignment. So let's take a look at what the outline is. Essentially, this is a structure or skeleton of what your paper is going to look like, okay? So your first paragraph is going to be your introduction, of course. You're going to have a lead or a hook, and you are going to have your thesis statement. Remember, that is your claim with your three reasons in one sentence, okay? Then your first body paragraph will be focused on reason number 1 with your topic sentence, evidence, unpack, evidence, unpack, evidence, unpack. Okay, that's your writing to think when I say unpack. Then you will have your second body paragraph, which is focused on reason number 2, same structure, topic sentence, along with your evidence and your personal thoughts in there. Then your third body paragraph is going to be for reason number 3, same structure. Then your fourth body paragraph is going to be focused on your counterclaim and rebuttal. So that is when we talked about some may think this is going against your idea, but then you're going to prove them wrong with your evidence, okay? Remember, for that one, you only needed 2 pieces of evidence. The third piece was optional. Then finally, you're going to have your conclusion paragraph, which is where you will restate your thesis and come up with a closing sentence. So for today, what we want to do is we are going to be filling out the lead, hook, the thesis statement, and your topic sentences for your body paragraphs. So what I'm going to do is I am going to come up with a lead or a hook for my paper. So mine is focused on the fact that kids should play team sports. So I decided that I want to start off with a question to get my reader reflecting on their own personal experiences. Now, when I think of sports, I think about how amazing it feels to be successful. And I know that as a kid, when I was playing sports, it felt so good to score that winning goal or to make that winning basket for my team. And that's what I want the reader to reflect on is, have they ever experienced that? So what I'm going to say is, have you ever felt the success of scoring the winning goal or basket for your team? I'm going to say it's a feeling like no other. If you haven't experienced this feeling, you're definitely missing out. Okay, so I have captured my audience's attention with that question. It's getting them to reflect on their experiences. Maybe they have felt this experience and they're thinking, man, I have felt that. You're right, that is pretty incredible. Or they're thinking, no, I haven't felt that. What am I missing out on? Tell me a little bit more. So I've gotten them to think back to their experiences. They're making a personal connection to my story, which grabs their attention. So one way to capture your audience's attention is to get them to make that personal connection to your story and get them to reflect a little bit about themselves, okay? Now I've also clued them in as to what my paper is going to be about. Obviously, it's going to be about the joys of playing sports, okay? Now I'm going to include my thesis statement. So I'm going to go back to my boxes and bullets, and I'm actually just going to copy and paste it. At this point, you should have your thesis statement already written in your boxes and bullets. So I'm going to paste that without formatting. One thing I want to point out is that your thesis statement should be organized to match the order of your body paragraphs. For example, your first reason should go with body paragraph 1, your second reason should go with body paragraph 2, and your third reason should go with body paragraph 3 in that order, okay? But I noticed that I want to rearrange the order of my thesis statement because I'm thinking back to my question for today, and that is, how will I organize my reasons from least to most important? Well, I'm going to highlight, and I want you to do the same. What you're going to do is you're going to highlight your most important reason. So you need to ask yourself, what is the strongest argument that I'm making? What is the most important reason that I think will stand out to my audience? So I know that strong social skills and relieving stress are important, but I think that what's going to be most important to my reader is the fact that it influences their kids' physical health, because that is extremely important to most people. So I'm going to highlight that as my most important reason. Now I see that I have it listed here as my second reason, but I want that to be my third reason because it's the most important. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut and paste this at the end. So I'm going to cut and put that at the very end of my sentence, okay? So let me make sure, well, I have here that strong social skills are the second most important reason, but I think that that's actually the least important reason because kids get social skills in other ways like school or hanging out with friends. So I'm going to say because sports help build strong social skills, they relieve stress and improve kids' physical health. So now I've decided that I'm going from least to most important reasons. And my sentence makes sense, so you should do the same with your thesis statement. So my first reason, my topic sentence for my first reason is going to be about my first reason. So one reason kids should play sports is because they help build strong social skills. Notice I just literally listed my reason and I started with a sentence starter. My second reason is about relieving stress, so I'm going to go to my second topic sentence. This is what you're going to do today. Go to your second topic sentence and say, another reason kids should play sports is because sports relieve stress. Okay, and finally my third reason, I'm going to say the last reason, or I'm going to say the final reason. Kids should play sports is because sports improve kids' physical fitness. Now, they don't have to be word for word from your thesis statement, your reasons, but they should be pretty much close to the same. Now, finally, I need to come up with a topic sentence for my counterclaim. So I'm going to go back to my counterclaim, and I remember my counterclaim was that some might think playing sports will distract kids from their schoolwork. So this is where I'm going to write my, now I suggest you start out with the sentence starter, some may think, or you could start off with, it is often thought that, it might be believed that. I'm going to start off with some may think sports will distract kids from their homework. But, now this is where you want to continue on, but playing sports will actually help improve academic performance. So this is the rest of my topic sentence. So what I'm doing is I am copying and pasting from my boxes and bullets what my rebuttal is, because you want your topic sentence for your counter argument paragraph to be your counterclaim along with your rebuttal. So some may think sports will distract kids from their homework. I don't want to just leave it there because I want to tell the reader that I'm going to argue against that. So I'm going to continue on and prove them wrong. Some may think sports will distract kids from their homework, but playing sports will actually help improve their academic performance. So in that topic sentence for your counterclaim, you want to state what the counter argument might be, but then also clue them in as to what your rebuttal is going to be. So that complete sentence should have both parts, okay? Then, once we get to the conclusion paragraph, we will be restating your thesis and doing your closing sentence. But for today, we're not going to be focusing on that. Today, your task is just to come up with a lead or a hook for your introduction, copy and paste your thesis statement, rearrange it if you want the order of your reasons to go in a different order. So think about what is your most important reason. You're going to highlight that reason and put it last in your thesis statement because that's going to be your last body paragraph. Remember, we're leaving them with that wow factor. Then you're going to come up with a topic sentence for each of your body paragraphs. One reason, another reason, the final reason, or finally, thirdly, however you want to write it. Then you are going to come up with a topic sentence for your counterclaim, which is going to be some may think, but in all actuality, or but this is not true because, and so on, okay? So those are your goals for today, all right? And if you have any questions, let us know.